Hi, this is Russ Jeffers from mobileburn.com, and here I've got the LG New Chocolate BL40. This is one of LG's new Black Label series devices, which is sort of their top-end devices. I'm just going to quickly unbox it for you and then take a look at the handset. As you see, we've got quite a nice looking box here, and the device itself is also pretty slick looking. As you can see, it sort of matches the box in a way with the red ends, and then the black construction for the rest of it. But we'll take a closer look at that later on. We've got a travel adapter in here which plugs into the micro USB port in the side of the New Chocolate here. And then underneath here we've got the battery, which is a 1000 mAh battery. So not the biggest battery considering the large screen on the LG, but we'll have a look and see how well that fares later on. A USB data cable again to micro USB, plugs in the same port as the power cable. And a headset, which is like an in-ear headset with a few different buds for different types of ears, different sizes of ears. And that goes straight in the 3.5mm headphone port on the top of the device there. So you can also plug in your own headphones if you like. These headphones do, however, have a little microphone built into them on the wire, which allows you to answer calls and speak when the headphones are connected. Inside we've also got a user guide and just a little CD with LG's PC suite on as well. So we're just going to take a quick look at the phone now. So as you can see, I've now fired up the BL40 New Chocolate, and the first thing you'll notice is this very large 4.01 inch display on the front. Very vivid and bright display with a 21:9 aspect ratio, so it's fantastic for watching movies. And first of all, I thought it was actually an AMOLED display because of the colours and the dark blacks, because contrast and everything was so good on it, but it's actually just a normal LCD display, so you don't get any of the power saving pluses of the AMOLED screens, but it's still a very good screen. Just above it you can see we've got the earpiece and the forward-facing video camera. There's also sort of an ambient light sensor and different things next to that as well, and then the LG logo right beneath. On the left hand side we've got the covered micro USB port, which is used for data and charging, covered by a little plastic door. And just beneath that, just built into this chrome strip around the edge, we've got a music key here as well for opening the music player quickly. On the right hand side we've got these volume keys also built into this chrome strip, and then the camera shutter button, which is a two-stage shutter button. Press it halfway to focus and then all the way to take a photo. It sort of protrudes slightly from the body of the phone. On the top we've just got the power key, which is used for also waking up the screen, and you can use it to unlock the screen as well and relock the screen. Next to that we've got the 3.5mm headphone port, so you can plug in any old headphones to that, or you can use the headphones that were provided. And on the bottom we've just got a little microphone pinhole. On the back of the handset we've got the 5-megapixel camera with a LED flash, and God knows how you say this, but Schneider Kreuznach lens as well, so it's a pretty good lens apparently. And then another LG logo. If we just whip this back cover off, you can see we've got the 1000 mAh battery in there, and a micro SD slot there, which can take up to 30GB capacity cards, and then the SIM card slot. It's a shame we've got to remove the back cover to put the micro SD card in, but nevertheless it's not very difficult to get to once you're there. You don't have to remove the battery, you can just slide it straight out, so it's not too bad. So I'm going to show you through the S-Class user interface, LG's new interface, shown back at Mobile World Congress back at the beginning of the year. A few more tweaks this time over previous devices like the Arena. We've got the cube menu still, but instead of having the music and movies pane of the cube menu, we've got a browser one instead, which shows you different favourites that you can set from your web browser. So for example, we can quickly tap here to go to the Mobile Burn web page. It just gives a little preview, and then we can open it from there, and it should load it up. Once the page is loaded, it zooms out fully so you can see the entire page, and you can then scroll around with your fingers and thumbs to find the exact part of the page that you'd like. And this device, like previous S-Class devices, has the pinch zooming as well, but it's definitely not as slick as that of, say, the iPhones or maybe the HTC Heroes pinch to zoom. It's a little bit glitchy and clunky, as you can see. It's not quite as smooth as you might expect, and the text on the pages doesn't seem to sort of roll around to fit the actual size of the screen when you zoom in, so you end up sort of scrolling around with your finger a bit. But otherwise it's still a pretty decent experience. It doesn't take too long to load pages up thanks to the HSDPA connection and the included Wi-Fi. So overall the mobile experience is pretty good, and you can see we've got the whole HTML page here the full desktop page of the MobileBone website, and it looks pretty good. It's all loaded up pretty well and quite easy to read. So if we just go back now to the S-Class Cube, and I can show you a few more of the different sides. Right, so as you can see, other than the browser pane, nothing else has really changed in terms of content. We've still got the contacts pane, the widgets pane, and the shortcut pane. But this time around, you can actually see that all the different shortcuts I've set for each of the panes are actually reflected on the cube. On previous S-Class devices, there's just been a generic image for each of the cube's sides when you zoom out into this view. But here it's actually showing you the contact shortcuts and the browser shortcuts that are actually set on the real screens, and when it zooms in it sort of takes it away for a while but then pops back with the exact same image as you saw on the cube. Also, we've got scrollable shortcuts, so instead of just being able to set 9 shortcuts, we can now add a few more and then just scroll between them just by dragging on the screen, which is quite handy. And as usual, you can just scroll from left to right to move across different screens and see what else is on all the different panes, which kind of makes the cube menu a bit redundant, but it's still nice to look at, I suppose. We just move across now to the widget screen. As you can see, we've got a couple of widgets set up here for different status things and also the clock. And if we just press on a whole one of these widgets, like on the previous devices, we get a selection of different other widgets that we can set. So we can just grab, say, the calendar. If we pull that up onto the display, then we can get a little calendar up there. Oops, just dragged it back off again. There we go. And then we can just say OK. And then we've got a calendar on the screen, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, there only seems to be 10 widgets on here, pretty much like the last S-Class devices. They don't seem to have added any more widgets since, so you're still a bit limited with what you can actually put on the screen. But it's still quite cool to be able to customize your phone a bit and move things around and set things up how you'd like. Kind of like maybe a HTC Sense device, but a bit more basic. Moving on from that, we've also got the contacts pane, which again you can just set contact images on there, and then it just gives you quick access to be able to dial the contact, which is pretty cool.